GPT, Gemini, retrace, extract back in future. Like for example, okay, so with the element, you have the AI now. In order for them to complete their assignment, they go for Chat GPT. They ask the Chat GPT, right? They ask the AI, machine learning, whatever. Bear in mind, the AI itself is learned from us. If we don't teach them, they are not learning from us. But the great thinker is coming in different contexts because I already lecture about the AI versus HI, artificial intelligence versus human intelligence. That one is a different version. But the most important thing is what's the data that already been put in our repository data. We can use back the data as decision making system. Means that we can do as a supporting decision, not the true decision, but supporting the decision. We had this problem before. This is the problem that we should avoid. So don't repeat the same. So that's a kind of elements I would like to giving what we call that the recaps of what Miss Renata is mentioning about the citizen science. Okay, so again, as a summary, citizen science is for everyone who actually not having any sciences background or any fundamental sciences, but they are learning something indirectly or directly about sciences. Because all of us is actually, whether you like or not, we are in the sciences era. So this is one of the reasons why we say that citizen science. Okay, thank you, Miss Renata.
Okay, thank you, Professor Fadil. And now we have another question from Dinda in our chat box. Dinda asked about how can AI and digital technologies could genuinely reduce the carbon footprints, given that technology themselves require significant computation energy. Yeah, maybe it's still in line with our topic before about the citizen science, which use the AI and also another digital
Thank you, Dinda.
technology.
Okay, I can split to two topics about your questions. The first one, the more that we use AI, the higher energy that we consume. Am I correct? Okay, I repeat. The more AI, the more ChatGPT that you use, the more Gemini, whatever the AI that you use, the more people use it, the more energy that we utilize. Not only the energy, but water. Why? Bear in mind, I already mentioned previously, data center. So all the AI need a server. Then they need a data to make it is in a cloud system. It means that whatever you are request some questions, you have responsibility each of the requirement of kilowatts of your energy from your computer, that's kilowatt translated towards to the data center, towards to the grid and electricity. I'm not so sure in Indonesia, but Malaysia, we are utilizing almost 60% coal, coal powered supply. We also 10% from solar, another percentage from hydroelectric. So at least we have a 2 to 3 solution of alternative energy. So back to your questions. Yes, definitely. The era right now, we are depends a lot of data center because data center is for us to do some decision making system. So that's the reason why I put in my first slide when I discussed this to the newspaper, the journalist asking me what exactly the solution for data center. I think we cannot avoid data center. Data center will coming to us, but how to make it mitigation on that? Okay, the first thing is to do solution alternatively. Like for example, maybe instead of utilizing treated water to cooling our data center, we can use groundwater. We can use rainwater harvesting system. But that things is not enough. So you need to have a very good innovation on cooling aspect. So maybe previous data center need 60% of cooling, but the new innovation only 20% cooling is needed. Okay, that's a good innovation. So means that we already minimize dependency on the resource. That's number one. That's about the water. How about the energy? So maybe in Indonesia, you are giving a lot of what we call that opportunity. One of them is geothermal. You know geothermal? Geothermal is also being used also to use to stabilize the temperature. Geothermal can be used that one. Okay, geothermal can stabilize the temperature. So not from the water, but the geothermal. Okay? So it means that you can maintain temperature maybe 30 the ambient temperature, for example. So that's another alternative way. I'm just giving you one of the examples. But Indonesia having a lot of other opportunity. Like you have the resources of ashes from the volcanic ash. You have some product from agricultural. So that's also a solution for everyone. Okay. So another aspects we are talking about the AI. Okay. When we are even right now people asking me, is it lecturer is relevant in future? Because the student maybe they just asking Gemini or Google or Copilot, what is citizen science? Nobody will tell. The Google will tell them. So do we need the lecturer in that position in future? Not future to very long future, but maybe few years from now. So the student says that, okay, we don't want the teacher, we just need certification. Certificate. If we go to this video, this module, whatever, we can get certificate. We don't need the lecturer. So that's why lecturer right now have to change to be as a facilitator, not lecturing, but facilitating. So facilitating means that there's a human intelligence is added there. So that's the aspects that we have to look towards to the technologies on the digital twins technology. Okay, another one that maybe the element from Dinda is how to reduce the carbon footprint. We cannot avoid carbon because we already emitted the carbon, but we can reduce the footprint. Dinda, one of the solution, don't eat meat. Jangan makan daging. You produce a lot of carbon. So if we are talking about the carbon, so everybody is very skeptical about that, right? But how we are dealing with that? We dealing circular carbon footprint. It means that, like for example, you producing another carbon, you try to offsetting the carbon. So that's why right now we have CCUS. You know CC? Carbon captured and utilization storage. Please type CCUS. So that's another solution for carbon footprints, especially when we are dealing with the in future, a lot of carbon will be producing. So means we have to embed in the style. Yes, we cannot avoid, but we try to minimize, and they have some strategy by utilizing the CCUS. So CCUS is now growing up. It's a very promising techniques methods in future. Thank you. I think I answered to you,
Okay, thank you so much, Professor, for the answer about how could we use AI in this modern world and also modern era that we should use it hand by hand to our work and also to brings benefit for our life. And also now there is a changes in our in how human used to use AI. Before we are here to use AI, it's a human centered. We give the knowledge and they will learn from us. But today we learn a lot from AI, and we could be a facilitator about how to use AI properly. And there are also talking and professor also talking about how to reduce about the carbon footprint. Okay. And we have another question in our chat box. It's still talking about the AI. So the question is how we will keep safety if the data while keeping the system running smoothly and efficiently to keep the investor interested. So it's about the data safety using AI. What do you think,
Thank you.
Professor?
I think this is a very significant for all of us. Last time I've been invited by one of the groups from China. They call it is innovative solution for AI. So I presented one of the we call it as a seven principle of AI. Please Google seven principle of AI. Seven principle of AI. It means that one of them is about the data protection. Okay, safety of the data. Yes. We cannot avoid by now people use our data. The data is not only the data on reporting. Even right now, people can produce thesis. Even right now, people can produce fake video. Like now, you can make me to speak Chinese, for example. This is actually the AI, right? The safety. So we cannot avoid. Even in terms of the people says that it is about a time for us to make it a kind of something protections to our country. Okay, one of them is actually China. You know China? China, they are not depending to Gemini, ChatGPT. They don't have even. So they have their own AI, machine learning. DeepSeek, one of the example, right? So, but their people still try to do something else. They still need to do with the Gemini, because it is people. This is manusia, right? People would like to, doing whatever we avoid them. Apa yang kita larang itulah yang dia nak buat. Jangan pijak rumput. That's the way they want to pijak the rumput kan. They want to they want to try. This is actually one the human being. Okay. One of another things my perspective is more than that. For example, AI can be one of the friends. One would be friends of us. AI can be one of enemy to us. AI can be as our negotiator. AI can be as our disaster to us. For example, okay, I give you one example. Recently, people now moving towards trust human. There is someone group, they are not trust human, they trust AI. So they want to be friend with AI. Because if they have some bad feeling, they chat with the AI. My feeling is very bad right now. Right? So please, you can try your own chat. You say that, I want to suicide today. See what your AI is telling you. That's a very important message in terms of the safety, whatever is this. Even for maybe the alpha generation, I'm not saying the word Z generation, the alpha generation, because once they've been birth, they've been born, gadgets with them. So the gadgets, this see those kind of gaming, and they think the gaming is their real life. So that's why our suicide, the murderer elements very influence our community, our local community. Why? Because they say that it's okay, we can stab people, we can kill people because that people is gaming. So people can think like that way, right? So that's why a solution for I is not 100%. So we have to back our own religion, our own culture, our own pedagogy. So what's for example, I'm a Muslim, so I'm always back to the root base of Islamic, for example. So what's exactly the good and not good? So we have to be as the position in order for us to ensure that we are not be trapped by the AI itself. Okay. The second one is about the data. Okay. So if you want to be as what we call that bad what we call that algorithm, you are actually very good in terms of machine learning. So you can turn someone, if you want to sabotage your friends, you can create the things, right? You can do something else. So again, it's back to the root base. If you are doing a good bad things to someone, it can be a karma. It's a circle. Ia akan berbalik semula. So that's not been teach in AI. No, tak ada karma tak ada dalam AI. In seven principle AI, no karma. Okay, so it's back to our own religion and culture. So it means that be wise to use the AI. This data, yes, I cannot say I guaranteed for you guys, but at this moment, it is based even from the seven principle. The seven principle of AI means that the data is being used for good things. But the good things is actually referred to the context of our local. For example, if we think that LGBT is good, contoh LGBT is good for that particular local, na'udzubillah. So then we train our AI in that context. LGBT is been acceptable, so means that they will accept. The AI will utilize the things. So that's a kind of safety and data security that we want to produce. So we cannot do much on that because it is from human. The AI is not created by the God. AI is created by the human, but the knowledge is coming from the God. So means that whatever you are doing, it differ back to what exactly the impacts to the people there. So I'm not put seven principle if AI is actually the absolute things, but seven principle if AI plus religions. So it must be embedded with that kind of things lah. Okay, I hope that I answered to you. Maybe not good to Yumna. Hopefully, you happy with the answers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Fadriel. And we still open for our Q&A session. So please, if anyone have a question, you could use your raise hand feature, or you can type your question on your chat box. Okay, so if we don't have any question from our participant, now I would like to ask Professor Fadil for the closing statement. So before I hand in our event to the MC, please tell us about your closing
Okay.
statement,
Thank you
Professor Fadil.
to Miss Renata for hosting moderating the sessions smoothly. And I think I'm really honored being invited, especially from Prof. Sri, to have a kind of global online classroom. I think this is my third time having the the elements that we shared together is not only myself. I have conference from my colleagues, especially to Undip team partners from the Tune members who actually now dealing and helping in terms of green skill and green jobs. That maybe soon and after they will promote the module to you guys to apply and try to get some benefits for the academic program. So in June, somewhere June and July, we are having that module micro credential. So we do hope that you can try to look on the AI. I have a second is thank you again for the hosting this event because it is benefits as the social sciences and also practitioner. I can call it you guys as a practitioner because you have been maybe implementing most of the important stakeholders programs from the government, from the agencies, as well as to the local context. And I do hope that it will benefit as added value added knowledge for all. And the third, I also thanks to my team from UTM Campus Sustainability Center because we are also having a lot of program with the community. I'm very sorry to all of you because I cannot share due to the time constraint because we develop a very three exemplary projects related on the social enterprises in Malaysia, and we still continue the project until now. And the project is also consists of the local government, the ministry, the representative departments, as well as the students from the most important. And last but not least, thank you very much again to all our asked me questions, a very good one. And hopefully you can gain something, make it your own perspective, but the good one. Maybe I'm not perfectly hopefully it can be as your game changers. Thank you again for your attendance and your passion to wait until the end. Thank you very much again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much. And now I will give it back to our Master of Ceremony. Thank you so much, Professor Fadil, and thank you for all of the participants and also the lecturers that are already been here.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Renata, and thank you very much for an awesome material and such an enlightenment session, Professor Adil. We truly appreciate the valuable insight that you have shared with us today regarding social empowerment in Malaysia and Indonesia. And before we conclude today's agenda, I would like to kindly remind for all participants to check the chat box and fill out the attendance form. And please ensure that you have complete your presence before leaving this session. Okay, and now to commemorate our gathering in this Undip Global Classroom, let's capture this moment together. And I invite to turn on your cameras for all participants and maybe share our brightest smiles for our final group photos today. Okay, for all participants can turn on your cameras. It will be lovely to see all the faces behind this productive discussion. Okay, and please keep that beautiful smile. I will capture on three, two, one, smile. Okay, one more. Three, two, one, smile. Okay, thank you very much. That's wonderful energy for everyone. And finally, on behalf of the Faculty of Social and Political Sciences, Universitas Diponegoro, we sincerely thank to Professor Insinyur Teknologis Dr. Mohadil as our distinguished speakers and Dr. Andesri Suwitri as the teaching team on social empowerment courses, and of course, Ms. Renata as our moderator, and all participants for your valuable time. And we hope this session has enriched our knowledge on social empowerment for industrial waste processing workers in Indonesia and Malaysia. I'm Jamila Syahining Kolbu, your Master of Ceremony for today, signing off, and thank you for joining with us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon and see you at
Thank
next our academic event.
you very much for all.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih, Prof. Fadil. Sampai ketemu lagi.